Welcome to the shop. It's Jim. I got another little quick Dromida maintenance tip today. We race on a dirt oval in my backyard. There's about 6 of us or 7 typically, and we race the Dromida short course truck, and we just started racing the rally car, which that's a lot of fun too. But on the short course truck, which you can see here, I've got one torn apart. I'm rebuilding this one. We get a lot of dirt back into this gear case where the pinion and the spur gear are. There's a cover that goes over this, of course. Looks like this. And that's supposed to keep, well, and it does, it keeps some of the dirt out of there. But there's a couple of spots where it doesn't seal good, and it just doesn't keep the dirt from getting in here. And it gets around the spur gear, and then it collects down in there. And it's bouncing up in there, and if you get a little bit of a rock or a stone up in here, it'll stick on the spur gear, and then it really wears out stuff quick. So that's one of our biggest maintenance headaches, is replacing the spur gear and pinion. So what we had been doing, and I'll show you one here that's the standard way we're modifying it. We put a little bit of goop, whatever I use, just standard indoor tub and tile caulking. And so I put a little bit there, put some, I hope you can see that okay. I put some underneath of here, kind of like a gasket where that plastic cover fits. And then down in here, and just trying to seal up that cover that goes over the gear case. And then I put a piece of a playing card in here that I cut to fit underneath of the upper brace and the chassis, and push that in there so it's nice and tight, and then put more of that silicone caulking in there to try to seal that out, and then a little bit of the caulking. It's gonna be hard for you to see this, I think. Maybe a little more light would help. And caulking back here and here, because you'll also get dirt clear back into the differential case, and you're getting some of it through the dog bone cups on both sides, but I think you're also getting some that migrates out of here on back, kind of past that that gear into the case here. So that helps. But me and one of the guys were talking, and the suggestion was, well, what about putting a tunnel clear from front to back? And that's what I've got going on here. This one I'm rebuilding the entire truck. I'm trying to use new parts, and it just kind of gave me something to do. Yeah, I needed something else to do. Anyway, this is just typical packing tape. It's this stuff right here, and this is 2 7/8, no, it's 1 7/8 wide, which happens to be perfect size for this, because it goes from you start on one side or the other, and it you stick it to that vertical piece on the chassis, and then bring it up over the top of the drive shaft and down the other side, and it's perfect. It's the right height then, and you can kind of curve it around to make a tunnel out of it. On this one, and you can't see it because it's already on there, I put tissue paper inside of it to keep it from sticking to the drive shaft or anything else, just to cover up the glue on the tape. So it's stuck down to the vertical piece here, which is only about 1/4 of an inch, and the same on the other side. And then when I get this all back together, I'll still put a little bit of silicone caulk around here and back here, and I'll put a little bit of a bead across the top of this motor mount, because there's a gap there usually. The motor mounts aren't machined perfectly, and if you compare 2 of them, they're usually not even the same from one to the next. The way they're machining them must not be very consistent. But just trying to keep the dirt out of here, and then it migrates. Once it gets in here, it can migrate past this bearing and get back in here, and then it's also coming in through these 2 openings here where the drive cups are for the differential. But that's today's tip, and we'll see you next time.